You're listening to Huddle with Osh podcast, where athletes converse about the passions they have for their sport. My name is Osh, and I'm currently playing college basketball. Join me as I sit down with some amazing athletes that I secretly look up to. We talk about their experiences and the lessons they've learned over the years. So make sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and comment who you think should come next. Hi everyone, welcome to Huddle with Osh. So today's guest is none but other number 4 from Concordia University, Nelly Owusu.
Hello,
Oh my gosh.
hello.
How are you, Nels?
I'm good. Honestly, can't complain of life. I was about to say a day above ground is a good day, but you know.
Yeah. Quote Trevor Williams.
Trevor Williams.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for taking your time to come and to my podcast. It's really appreciated.
Honestly, I don't mind. Like you're one of my close friends, so might as well. And like I enjoy a good conversation. So
Big facts. So let the people know our first encounter. I actually don't remember it, but do you
first
have
encounter.
any? Yeah.
Honestly, I remembered you at the Blue House tryout our first year. I think that was the first time I saw you because I didn't usually play at Blue House during the AU, and you usually do, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I usually do. I used to play at Express during the AU, so like my first win was at Dawson when I went to actually go to Dawson. And, like we had to do our AU tryout with Blue House, aka Dawson. So I think that was the first time I saw you. And like again, you haven't changed. You have like this ball of energy. It's hard not to like miss Ocean. Like you can tell, like it has a lot of energy. That was my first encounter with you. And after that, from there, like being the first rookies on our team, like me, you, Tasha, in our first year, like we became a trio. So like from there, we like had like good memories, and we call ourselves the Destiny Childs guys. So like, I think Natasha's for sure Beyonce, but like am I Kelly or am I Michelle? I think
you're Kelly. You guys left me with Michelle. I was like, okay, I'll take it, I guess.
Michelle. But yeah, I think that was like our first encounter together, and like from there, like it came like a pretty good friendship. So
yes. Oh my gosh. So what was your expectations of CEGEP, and like how was it? Like, did it concord with the reality that you experienced?
My first year at CEGEP, honestly, from going to high school to CEGEP, I guess it was I would say like a big jump as well. Just because, for example, school-wise, now you make your own schedule, quote unquote, make your own schedule in a way, and also like practices are late compared to high school. So like after a long day at school, we would practice at 6 o'clock to 8. Almost every day, which is something I wasn't used to as well, I guess. Just like the load of work and like I guess I kind of have an expectation of it just because of other people, how they would react to it and how like I would see them play, because I was like close friends with older players than me, so like I would see their experience with it, and I was trying to expect that. But once I actually went through it, it was like a kind of a lot my first year, not gonna lie. And after that, second year, I kind of got used to it. Third year, a breeze, let's go.
Ready to go.
So ready, I know what I'm expecting. So like honestly, it's something that I was expecting just because I knew people. But besides that, like it is a kind of a big jump from high school to CEGEP. There's also more people in CEGEP. So like if you get anxious sometimes like you might see a bunch of people and you're like, oh my god, this is more than like high school, and like it's people that you don't really know compared to high school, because you know them because they're in your same like grade or like the same class as you. But like CEGEP, it was way different. So I would say the jump was pretty like a high jump, but at the same time you kind of catch on quickly. So yeah,
I like that answer. That's so true. And so I remember you got injured. I can't remember what year, but I want to say freshman year at CEGEP, like our first year. I mean,
I got injured so many times, Ocean.
I didn't want to say it.
you don't want to say shit. I was saying it. I don't care. We can be honest over here.
So how did you overcome all those hurdles, like every injuries? Because I know sometimes you were frustrated.
Oh my god, it was really frustrating. So to start off with, I tore my ACL in high school when I was 15 years old. That was in Sec 3. So like, let's say for those who are not from Quebec, it was like grade 9. Most Sec 3 is grade 9, I think. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, it is.
Grade 9, grade 9, grade 10, let's say. So I tore my ACL then, and like the recovery from it was like long. Instead of like the usual, let's say 9 to 12 months, or like so, I would say it took me like a year and 4 months, just because I also had to wait for a brace, and my doctor went away on vacation, so like I was stuck, like, you went away on vacation while I was here struggling, trying to get back into the gym.
Dang, that sucks.
Like, so when I got to come back was like my last year in high school in November, and that's when tournaments are happening and like scouting is happening, and like I didn't play ball in like a so long, so I was so nervous. I was so scared when I started playing again. I was like, oh my god, I need to find like a good school where I could play. Like, just because I want to still play the game, but I don't want to play the game where in the level where like I don't get to go to my higher expectations that I know that I could. From there, I was able to go to Dawson because we played against Dawson. High school. I had a high school game, played against Dawson, and after that, from there, Trevor was interested in me, so I was happy about that. And I'm gonna ramble about the injury stuff just because I had so many. Anyway, so after that, I went to Dawson, and like I was trying to catch on to play without my brace. So like I still had my brace on, and like I was trying to learn how to play without my brace. And during that process, my first year I had the concussion. So I don't know if you remember, but during this time I had the concussion during the summer camp, and I had a big concussion to go for like 4 months because, it was a big concussion, so it was like hard for me to like get back into it. But once I got back, it was hard for me as well to catch on like the plays, especially your first year. You're going from like high school to like CEGEP, and not only did I had like my ACL injury, but I'm here now with a concussion, so I'm trying to read all the plays and I'm trying to catch on, but everything's like the math equation, and like you see like I was trying to catch. I was like, whoa. And my first year, I had that injury. Second year, I didn't have any injuries, so thank God. It was really good. My third year, I tore my meniscus during the AAU tournament. So already that I had an ACL injury, I tore my meniscus again on that same knee. So it was a scare again because I was like, I can't go through this again. I can't go through another year and a half not playing basketball. Nah, I can't be going. It was a scare. So like I heard I had a meniscus tear. So like from there was just a lot of rehab. I didn't have any surgery on it. Most of the time you can have surgery on it. I didn't. I decided to do rehab instead. And until this day, I'm still playing basketball and I still haven't had surgery on it, which is really good. So so I tore my meniscus in the AU of the summer of my last year. And I'm gonna say again, all my injuries. I don't care. I don't care. I'm gonna show y'all all my injuries.
Exactly, because she's still here. That's what you gotta.
That's what I'm gonna tell you guys, all my injuries, because I'm still here. Anyway, and after that, what else did I get? So again, in my last year for nationals, I fractured my ankle. So I don't know if you remember that, but I had a huge ankle for nationals. I can't not play my last year at all. So again, it's a lot of like I can't not play. Like I have to play. So most of the times I was just like I had to take it in. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna have to put on my big girl pants and play on a fractured ankle, although I'm not supposed to.
She still played, y'all, and she still got all those rebounds. Still went on the floor, be scrappy, bruh. Hero, superhero.
Thank you. Honestly, I really did try my best. I was like, you have to at least try to win for it last year, especially we had a good year. We went 14-0 that season.
Yes.
So like, I was like, I have to finish well with my girls at least, so I have to play. But yes, I played on a fractured ankle. What else? And after that, Concordia again, I tore my ACL. So now I tore my other knee my first year, which again was a bummer. But now I knew what to expect because I already had it before. So from there, and I also had a good surrounding. So like I had good athletic trainers who helped me, athletic therapists. I had good coaches who encouraged me, good teammates as well. So like the process of coming back was way more easier than my first time. So now instead of a year and 4 months, it took me like 8 months, I would say. Like I was injured in November, got surgery in January, and came back in time on September. So let's say that's probably like a 7-8 months. So I came back quickly from that. So I'm really happy about that. But again, I got it again.
Yes.
So my first game coming back from my ACL injury, we went to a tournament in Winnipeg or Regina or whatever. Anyways, so we did a tournament.
So
and, like, they told me I only have 15 minutes to play each game because it was the first game that I came back. So it was a tournament and we had like 3 games, I think, and I'm only allowed to play 15 minutes, which I understand because my first time coming back, I'm not playing with a brace because I was able to like learn how to play without the brace, so I was really happy about that. And during that 15-minute process on my second game, I dislocated my shoulder. So I was playing defense, I went out for a steal, and my hand was on the ball, and this girl landed on my shoulder and she pulled it. So it's really visual, but like it came out. I was at the hospital for I don't know how long. But again, that was really frustrating as well because I was like, I was just got back, and like now here I am with another hurdle in my life. This shoulder, and like I was like, I can't be out for this season again. I just started, so like I had to work a lot of rehabbing, a lot. Thank God for my athletic therapist because they gave me so many like drills, so many like work and drills to do with my fingers. Because after that, like my fingers became numb, and I had like let's say like I couldn't write at school. Like I had to type with my other hand. So like during exams too, I wouldn't be able to write because it's my right hand, and I'm right-handed. So like I couldn't feel, I couldn't hold anything for like a while, and so they gave me so many exercises where I would have to like tell my nervous system to like my brain connects to your fingers to like you can have to hold. Okay, so now you have to push. Now you have to. I had no like strength, but like I was able to come back in January, and after that I was able to have my season. So and now it's the pandemic, so.
We'll talk about it later.
So I had a lot of injuries. That's all my injuries. It took like a while for me to name them, but I had to stay.
Yeah, it's okay. You have to, because you have to, otherwise it's just like, I had this,
I had this and this, and it's like, okay, well, whoa, you had all of that, but how? You know what I mean? But like, I had you gotta say it
add a little bit of spice.
Add a little bit of spice. Yeah, I feel you.
Oh my god. Okay, so I remember last summer it was like a big like thing with Black Lives Matter and just like what happened with George Floyd and stuff. And I remember your coach did a timeout. I don't know if I think it was 2 sessions or 1. And how did it feel to have like a leader, and also your coach is like one of the few Black women in like all over Canada that coach as a head coach, so just having her in a leadership position and having her like use her voice and her platform to like elevate like the voice of players, how did it feel to have like a safe space like that?
I guess honestly it's really like heartwarming in a way. Like you get to see from your like, let's see, like this is the front seat. I'm on the front seat because again, she's my coach, and like I am also one of the minorities as a player as well who's with her. So like it's again like front seat. And the first time it happened, like she did a Zoom call with the team, and she said like we need to talk about this and that, and like for some of us it was like, like really like overwhelming, so like we didn't want to talk about it, but honestly I'm actually happy we did, and we were able to express ourselves, and like we were able to learn from our other teammates, and like like just to see how they would feel about the situation. And like from there, I guess that's when we had the timeout as well, because like like we learned from there that there's a lot of players in the RCQ like who go through that type of stereotypes or that type of hatred sometimes on your skin color, and like it's hard. It's hard, like so having her as a coach and being able like to like to show us that we're just more than players during those situations was eye-opening, I guess. I was happy that I was able to like represent Concordia, because the timeout session was like from different teams in the RCQ league. So we had Esther from Citadin UQAM. We had like Metch from Bishops. We had Trish and Syrah from McGill. I was representing Concordia, and after that, coach was there. And they had Sarah as well, like the athletic trainer at McGill. She was there as well. So like it was nice to put the whole thing together. At first, again, I don't like being too much in like the spotlight, or like I hate oral presentations. I hate a bunch of people. So for me, that was like a big step. Like obviously, when I heard about the project that was going on, I was super down. But the day they came back, oh my god, they were going a lot of people, and I'm like, oh my god, like like it's but from there I was able to learn. I was able to get to do a first step of me like being able to speak up in a way, and from there I guess like I was able to do other things. But the timeout session during the summertime was really an eye-opener, and I'm really happy that my coach was able to teach me those things as well, and to teach my teammates the importance of let's say this, I don't want to say about race or like about racism, but like the importance of being accountable about other people's race. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, we're like I have white teammates. It's natural for everyone to have a white teammate on their team. It's just being able to recognize if they're gonna stand with you or not, because at the end of the day, you're still a person, not just like a player, not just a teammate. You need to take account about like what your teammate is going through, and like how can you do to help, or like what you can do to educate yourself and during those matters. And so like I was happy that we had that conversation with our team. And from there I was happy that we also had a timeout with the RCQ league, with the girls from the RCQ. So
it was really like empowering. Just see even you, like just you in that position. I was like, Nels is moving places. I was like, she's doing her thing. Like she did that. No problem. So and then also that another thing that made me go like that was your open letter to RSEQ. Because I was just like, whoa, like wow, Nels, like it's really like things like, because especially RSEQ, like we've been in it our whole life, like literally since elementary school all the way up to university. So it's so like long. You being able to call them out like that is just like they need to be accountable, and they're such a big entity because they touch so many like years of our lives. It's really like it was empowering. So what was your thought process behind the open letter?
Honestly, it's because we had like this let's say this meeting with like the school, with the other athletes of the school and with the coaches in one meeting, where we get to like now have our own voice and whatsoever. And so like I had an idea of writing to the RCQ. I was like, how come the RCQ didn't say anything about it? And like I wanted to write a private letter at first, just like like just like to see what's gonna go on. But like after that, my coach was like, they're not gonna answer it. They probably just will like disregard it. So she was like, you should do a public letter. And I was like, a public letter? I was like, oh. And another anxious moment coming up. Like it was a good idea. Like she gave me that recommendation of doing a public letter, and like from there I wrote like, you know, from my point of view, especially because I've been in the league for so long, and like I've been I've been like, you know, playing for so long, representing the RCQ, and I still am representing the RCQ. So like, how come they're not, you know, being vocal of something that matters the most? Especially the fact that there's a lot of minorities, a lot of BIPOC athletes in the league, and they haven't, like, you know, just all they did was like a black screen on Instagram, which was like a trend, I guess, back then, like, you know, like the hashtag Blackout Tuesday, but it's more than a trend. I feel like they should have took their time to educate themselves. They should have took the time to educate themselves. So like from there, I was like, okay, you know what, I should write my open letter. And again, when I posted it, I was really nervous because like I am going more public than the usual as well. Like this now is on my personal page, something that I personally wrote with my personal information about how I've been in the league for so long. And like I've also felt that for those who haven't been in the league for so long, so like for example, especially in university, some people from other provinces come to the RCQ. And like and they're BIPOC athletes as well. And like not the league, like, you know, probably don't exactly support or don't care as much about the BIPOC community is kind of like, you know, could be disappointing. So like, again, it's just more for them to have, like, you know, a better look for themselves. Also just for them to educate themselves. I feel like it was an overwhelming subject for sure. Knowing that there's so many BIPOC athletes in your league, like you should have, like, you know, reached out to either the athletes or either the coaches, because there's also some coaches who are BIPOC, like there's also some coaches who are like minorities as well. So like, why don't you reach out to them, like, you know, to like understand the situation that's going on, or like what could they do to help in a way, like, you know, like just like maybe do like an event, like a virtual event where, like, you know, you get to have different like players or different coaches talk about exactly. So I know U Sport did that. My coach was it. But like RCQ didn't do anything about that matter. So like obviously like I had to write an open letter, and from there again I was happy I did. It was another step for me personally to get, like, you know, to be more open, to be more confident in a way. But I was also happy I did that because it's more for like the future. Like I guess for like later on who's gonna come and play in the league, like you would want to feel safe. You want to feel that you're acknowledged. For the other players who in the league before that, I feel that the race stereotypical thing was way worse back then. Like I feel like compared to now, like obviously like when I was younger, when I would see it happening, like we wouldn't do anything about it. But when I get to think about it now, it's just like it was over the roof. So like exactly. So like just for me to speak up about it, it was just more for like the future, and also for like the past, and also for myself, since I am still here in the league. And but also hopefully that, like, you know, later on that other players get to see it and they get to do their own thing as well, like, you know, like actually like call them out for it. So,
that's good. I think it did help, and it just like it was an eye opener. Like it was probably something like they probably did not have that much of bad intentions, but just like even knowing that there was not that many black people in like behind RSQ, like they probably weren't even aware that it had such a big impact. So you calling them out like that, and it was not disrespectful in any way too. So it's just like I think it really did the job that it was supposed to do.
Exactly, like you said, there wasn't a lot of, like, you know, black under leaderboard anyway. So like I guess for them it's like, oh, what should we do, or like how should we talk about it? But at the same time, there is BIPOC coaches in the league that you know that are actually like training the kids. Might as well like reach out to them. Or even there's athletes, like we're like university athletes, we're old enough to understand what's going on. Like, you know?
Exactly.
So like might as well just like reach out to them as well. But hey, so
but yeah, to change the subject a little bit, I don't remember when you started, but you do have a company that you did start in the midst of all that. So, girl, like how are you so successful right now? Like how do you feel with all this?
Successful is a big word, Ocean. Successful is a big word, but honestly, I started in this December 2020. So
Okay.
last year, like exactly last month of last year, I started like really like last minute. Let me finish off 2020 with like a business.
Yeah, just like let's go. I don't just yeah.
And I would say honestly, starting with the pandemic, because I started like, like doing other things than basketball. So like during the pandemic, you get to learn more about yourself and like catch on the stuff that you used to do that you didn't do before because you were just so busy with like school, basketball, and like schedules and this and that, and like that during that time, not a lot of people were in tune with themselves. And so I was able to get in tune with myself, and like I remember that I'm so much into art. Like I really do love art. Like I used to draw a lot, and like so yeah, I started my graphic t-shirts by then. And like I remember you also back then when I was younger, like the paper transfer thing. I used to do that before TikTok. Let me call myself right here. I used to do that before TikTok.
She's like, I knew how to do this.
I knew how to do that before TikTok. Let me say before TikTok. I'm not that old. I'm not that 1995 or 1992, but I am pretty much old to know that I did that before TikTok. So I figured like since I like to do a lot of designing, a lot of like drawing as well, I was like, oh, maybe I could do it on a shirt, but I didn't want to do like the transfer paper as well because sometimes it might come off, and that's something I learned from before. So like I was like, oh, maybe I'll just like start a graphic t-shirt, but like let me start off slowly. So I started off with the Kobe shirts. And I started off by selling it to my close friends. So like I was like, hey, do you want a shirt, this and that, just to see how they would like react to the shirts. Because I didn't want to like go big. And after that, like a huge like exactly a huge feedback. And like again, I get really anxious. So like for me putting it out there is like, what if not?
Big thing.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, you know what? Let me just like start off slowly, and after that, from there, I was able to build up I got a lot of good reviews and a lot of good like support again. So like from there, I started off my business, and like right now, it's going well. Again, I said successful ocean is a big word, but thank you very much.
Listen. I love it. Everyone that has it loves it. We all wear it. I literally wear it almost every day. Like, I love it. And it's like, you, like, honestly, everything, because obviously I've known you for so long, and you're such, like, a shell person. Like, you don't go things out of your way. And, like, you having this is like, wow, I love it. I love to see you like that.
Thanks, Rose.
No problem.
I don't know what to say. Honestly, it actually helped me a lot. Like, from where this is coming, like, the pandemic, actually, although, like, it sucks that we don't get to, like, train or get to have a season, I guess it was, like, a time for a lot of people, like, to catch on from themselves, like, to, like, take a moment as a little breather. I say it's a long breather because damn, like
it's been a long time.
Time is ticking,
like we're getting older here.
Like I would understand a few months ago, like but now okay, can we get to the snow? Can we get to like our season? Can we get to like going back out in patios? I want to eat out in restaurants. I want to go. I want to travel. Like but so for Frenzies, it's going well. Hopefully, again, for me, I use it as more of a side job because I I feel like I still have basketball, I still have my priorities up, right? So I still have school, I still want to probably go further along with my with my schooling, so like probably do like a master's later on, or just also as well with basketball. So like you never know. But again, I like to put Frenzies on the side, but again, it's still also one of my priorities. So like it's the balance that I have to do.
It's okay though. Like you've been I feel like you've been on top of it, and you're a really good person to like manage stuff. So
oof, I am, but sometimes girl being on your phone all the time. Oh my god, yeah, it is overwhelming. But yeah,
anyways. Wow, what an amazing first half for Nelly. If you liked that episode as much as I did, please stay tuned, because next week's episode, it is going to be fire. She'll talk about her business, how she managed her time with everything on her plate, and she, on top of all this, gave us some advice. So make sure to send this to a friend that you know will definitely benefit from that episode. So yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you have any idea or more questions that you think I should ask to my guests.